Okay, guys, it's October. It's a little bit into October, a few days, but for this month, I actually have some videos I have planned for you guys. I actually have some reviews. I might do a top 10. I don't know if I'll get time to do it or not because things are crazy and all that. And apparently now I got my dog with me now at my mom's house because my dad I guess is having problems with her dog over there and all that. He was gonna stay over there. I'm like why are you guys bringing him over to my mom's house for a couple days just to bring it back over there? I don't know. It's very confusing. I've already done an update video about what's going on. I just haven't uploaded it yet, but videos are going to be kind of more tighter, but I should be able to get these done because I've already watched these episodes. So the movies are going to be the ones that are going to be more difficult, but I'm actually doing this outside at the park because it's been, I figured, well, it's it's Halloween and all that. And also, like I said, I got my dog at the house, so I can't really be making videos with him there, because if I sit outside, he'll start whining, and that'll wake up the house. So, but, yeah. Like I said, it is complicated, it's very complicated, but, again, I don't want to go into too much details, but, I do love my dog, but, like I said, I can't be making videos with him doing that, and I can't be doing it. It's a mess. Like I said, it's a mess, but yeah, I'll just talk more about that maybe later if I do a Let's Play or something. I'll bring it up, because, it's kind of just been, I don't want to make another update video, even though I haven't technically made an update, I still don't want to deal with that, but yeah, basically it's just chaos. But anywho, speaking of, chaos, we got Halloween and all that, around the corner, and, this October is very chaos because, the leaves aren't really changing that much, and it's been, in the 80s. To be fair, though, I guess it just kind of depends on the year. Sometimes in, Missouri, it gets hotter, at other times it doesn't, but the leaves haven't been changing a lot of colors because it hasn't been getting cold enough, So hopefully it ain't like 2017, but it does look like it's gonna cool down a little bit. And in 2017, I think it was getting even into the 90s around this time too. So, I don't know. But we'll see what happens there, because I want to make some videos on that for you guys too, showing off the trees. Because maybe I can make talk about more of this stuff then, too. I don't know, but, also, I've not been seeing a lot of Halloween decorated houses either, so, not really been feeling a lot of, October-ish stuff, but that, I can still make videos. This one's actually going to be a review, though, and it's actually going to be on the Magic School Bus. Yep, we're going to be reviewing an episode of the Magic School Bus, because I did an Earth Day one. Now I want to do, this one. Because that was an Earth Day / Christmas, themed, episode, because it was evolved like recycling, but it was Christmas, so it was a little bit in between, but I guess it was more focusing on the Christmas holidays, but it also focused a lot on recycling, like Earth Day, so that was kind of interesting. This one is just, this one's not really a Halloween-themed episode, but it was released around Halloween, as you guys see up there, a couple days before. And this episode, this episode is very, let's just say this one's very interesting to talk about. So, but before I get any further, sorry about the beginning, but I was kind of feeling in what was going on a little bit, with my dog and all that, but yeah, I meant to usually do my introductions there, but please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It would help me out a lot. I am trying to get to 1K subs. We're almost at 600 subs. I will give you guys a reward video if we get to 600 subs, and a super reward video once we get to 1K subs. So yeah, but you guys are really helping me out, especially when I'm going through some stress. So it really helps me out a lot. But yeah. Anywho, though, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this now. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this episode here. So this is the episode called Inside the Haunted House. So apparently this episode here takes place in an old haunted house. So what happens here is apparently Carlos and the other classmates are doing musical stuff. They're making instruments for a rehearsal. Or actually, no, wait, rehearsal. No, and I think they're actually supposed to be playing in the actual. I think a rehearsal is more so like practicing. I think that's what I'm thinking. Because Dorothy Ann does mention that when they miss it and all that. But yeah, it is pretty nice to have this and all that. Having the class do all this. These instruments. Apparently, though, Carlos's instrument really sucks, because, I don't know, he puts a lot of stuff on it, which, I gotta say, it looks really nice, but it definitely does not make very good music, I'll say that. Yeah, maybe he should be a designer. You think Carlos could be a designer? When he grows up, he could be a music, instrument designer. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I'd probably buy that. I'd buy that. I mean, I don't really have a lot of instruments. I have like a recorder from grade school, but not really much of anything else I can think of. But which is at my dad's house and all that with all my school stuff. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind having that. I do gotta say, I do really like his little musical instrument, even if he doesn't make great sound. It looks pretty nice. I know I'm trying to make jokes here, but kind of doing pretty bad. Unlike Carlos, I'm pretty bad at it. Because yeah, like Carlos, he makes bad jokes too. Anywho, I'm kind of getting a little sidetracked here. So what happens is they're on their way. Like I said, they missed the rehearsal because they're on their way to it, and I guess Miss Frizzle's bus breaks down. I'm not sure what she was doing. She was transforming her bus. I mean, can she just like I don't know, like, can she just like I don't know, like drive the bus really fast or something? Like, I guess to be fair, it wouldn't be the Miss Frizzle way without doing that, but of course she makes all the freaking kids push the bus. Like, I mean, come on, she's literally she's a magic person who pulls out freaking light bulbs and all of this in her clothes, which I'm not kidding, she really does that. But somehow she doesn't have like a phone or something to call people on the bus. I guess to be fair, we all make mistakes, and she does say this phrase, make mistakes, take chances and all that, get messy apparently. But yeah, I don't know, but having your little classmates, your kids, trying to, haul a freaking bus, to, I don't even know how far they've been doing it. That's very crazy. I mean, I'd have been doing it for at least 30 minutes because you can see the sky with sunset, and then it goes to pitch black, So, I don't know, there's some weird stuff going on there, and apparently they end up at the Sound Museum, which, by the way, was originally owned by this old woman who, by the way, has a fancy doorbell. I gotta say, it is a very fancy doorbell. Very loud, but very fancy, you know. I don't think I'd want that to be ringing, you know, when I'm trying to go to sleep. Or, you know, sleeping, you know. I mean, imagine just getting, like, ordering an Amazon package and that going off. You know, that'd be very crazy. But yeah, it is a very crazy doorbell. But apparently, you know, like I said, this home was originally, you know, owned by this lady called Cornelia, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who apparently mysteriously disappeared. So she was born in the early 1800s, and by the, you know, the late 90s, she basically disappeared. And I tried going on the Wikipedia of this episode to see if I could figure out, you know, I was trying to see if I could figure out, you know, maybe where, like, maybe if they have info on what happened to her exactly, you know. Because, you know, with it being aimed more for younger audiences, they probably didn't want to make it super spooky, but, it's pretty much a mystery in the episode and never gets resolved, really. But yeah, it is basically very weird, and there's somebody playing music in the mansion throughout the entire, and I'm going to clarify, the entire mansion. Somebody is playing some sort of orchestra or something like that. It's a very weird sound and kind of creepy, but I do like we get, throughout the entire episode, we do get to hear different, you know, different, like, sounds and how sounds work and all that. One thing they don't really go over, though, in this episode, though, is, they talk about how sounds can vibrate, and they need something to vibrate. So, like, Carl's instrument, by the way, which, let's go ahead and say this. The reason why it doesn't vibrate very well is because there's too much stuff on it. You know, but then it goes through, you see it going through doors and all that. But I guess to be fair, it is like, you know, the doors are probably not as thick as that other stuff, but, you know, that's kind of how it is with houses. Like, you can hear it, like, you know, like, you know, you can hear it and all that, like, echoing a bit more. And usually you don't hear like cars passing by as much or something when you're in a house or something, especially these older houses. But again, you could, but I feel like they would still explain the whole sound thing, you know, of like what makes them, you know, echo through something, you know, like they're explaining, you know, it bouncing and all that, and seeing higher and lower, you know, sounds being spread, and you know, far apart and close together and all that, you know. But they really don't explain all, and they don't explain that. But they do a pretty decent job though at explaining that. But that is something that's very curious though. Like, again, you want to question like how does sound, you know, echo in certain cases. I mean, yeah, I guess there is louder and lower sounds too, but again, like how do they like work, like, you know, like when you put like headphones on or something, like how come they don't, you know, like, you know, echo there, but then but they can't hear them there, but or you can hear them like, you know, inside a house. I don't know, I mean, I'm going a little bit into too much detail, but you guys kind of get what I'm saying. It's a bit kind of weird and all that, but I gotta say, though, one thing I do like about this episode, though, also is seeing the characters' models at dark. That's what you guys are seeing here, because I had a hard time kind of picking an image I wanted for this. But I kind of wanted to have something with all the kids in here. So you got Arnold, like, you know, walking away and all that. That's because, you know, I was like trying to get one with all of them. Again, I wanted it to be outside. I thought about doing inside, but I'm like, a lot of moments in the mansion, it's kind of not, it's kind of dark. I mean, dark, it's light, you know, so I figured this would make more sense, but you can see the models, like Arnold's hair looks completely different, his shirt looks different, you know, the other characters the same way. Although Phoebe doesn't look too much different, which is kind of weird. You know, and I guess Wanda's looks a little bit black and all that too, a little darker, but I don't know, it is kind of crazy though, seeing all that, but yeah, that's kind of what I like there. I also like the design of the house too, because apparently they turned it into a sound museum. I don't know if I brought that up, but yeah, they turned it into a sound museum. Because she was obsessed with collecting instruments, so they were like, you know what? Why not use all these instruments and turn them into, you know, something? You know, so, yeah, it's basically kind of all that, and, like I said, I really do like it. I do like the part where we see, them outdoors, and, see, Miss Frizzle, you know, yodeling. It's pretty nice. But yeah, there are a lot of moments I do like. However, though, you're probably again wondering where all this creepy stuff goes, and that is for the end of the episode. But before I get to it, I was gonna talk about Carlson's instrument. So apparently, he found Cornelia's, you know, I guess great granddaughter or something like that, or I think it's what it was, or a niece or something. I'm pretty sure it's great granddaughter, and apparently she also has, I guess she runs the mansion, you know, so she must be the one that turned it into a mansion, but yeah, seeing her in the episode, you know, is pretty, you know, interesting, though, seeing another relative and all that, you know, of a one-off character. That's pretty nice, because usually we don't see a lot of that, but yeah, but I do really like it, and all that, and, you know, seeing that, but here's the part that really is, very, you know, creepy, like about this episode, and kind of can probably maybe turn some people the wrong way. Apparently, at the end of the episode, so normally we have the producers, or sometimes we'll have a one-off character appear in the episode. We'll have that. Most of the time, it's the producer guy, the black guy, or it's a gal that looks like Wanda. See, when I first watched the show growing up in school, I actually thought they were actually real, or they were actually the characters from the show, and they were older. But then there are episodes where apparently they do have Phoebe, you know, in there too. Which is in, I think, season 1. Yeah, it's in season 1. That was, I think, one of the top. I think it was on the top, one of the top 5 episodes I made. I did a video like that, and I think it actually did pretty good. I think that was one of my top 5. But you could see her there. So, but most of the time it is the producer guy. But yeah, sadly his voice actor did pass away. So may him rest in peace. Yeah, he passed away more recently. He wasn't super old. I think he was in his early 50s. He was pretty young. He was also apparently in the Bill Cosby show. You know, I know Bill Cosby, you know, is not the greatest guy ever, but, you know, and I mean, there are people that have gotten accused of stuff, you know, but have been innocent, but I think he was actually proven guilty and actually proven he did this stuff. So he got put in jail. He did come out. I think he got released, but yeah, that is very, you know, crazy and all that, and, you know, and all that, but but yeah, one of the actors apparently in that show apparently voices the character here, which I never knew that. But I really did like him, and I really hated in the reboot that they didn't have him in the episode. Like, why the hell wasn't he at the end of the episode? I don't know why they had him there, and instead they had Miss Frizzle at the end of the episode. The reboot was pretty bad anyway. It was not the greatest. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it definitely wasn't the greatest. But that was one thing I liked about this show as the producer guy. I think the voice actor does a really good job. He may be just using his normal voice too. I don't know, but yeah. But this is one of those episodes, by the way, that actually, one of the episodes where they actually have a guest as the producer. And apparently this is where this probably scared the living shit out of a lot of kids. And I'm guilty with this. I was one of them. Apparently, at the end of the episode, Liz is trying to, I guess, expose this ghost. And apparently, because she basically has the chair, facing the other way, and she's holding the phone. But apparently, at the end of the episode, the ghost is actually it's a real ghost. And what makes it more creepy is the ghost is like laughing all crazy and evilly and all that, and it probably, I'm sure this show is kind of more I think it's a little aimed for a little bit older audiences. But with it being an educational show, and I think it aired on PBS Kids, it's just like, it aired on PBS Kids, the fact that we know this happened is very crazy. Like, it's very crazy that, all that happened, but yeah, I don't know, that's pretty messed up, though. I actually forgot to check to see if she plays at the end of the episode. I could check it right now, but I'll probably just put it in the comments, if I actually find it, if it actually, because I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be. That's supposed to be her. She's the ghost. But that's still kind of crazy, though. But like I said, the fact that this episode, again, focuses on that and her disappearing and never any explanation. They're trying to make it very creepy, but I don't know. That's kind of really don't like that, But, I don't. I kind of would like to have an explanation, and also, and even if this were like an older kids show or something like that, or maybe it's like for preteens. I still hate when they do that kind of stuff. They throw you on cliffhangers or throw in, questions that never get answered on episodes. I hate that. That's why I don't really care for horror movies and all that, because they do that crap all the time. I don't really like that. But for the most part, this episode is actually really good. Really good. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good. And not only am I going to give it a good, but I'm also going to be giving it... Oops, sorry, I don't know what happened there. What is going on here? Hold on, guys. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I guess it turned on its own or something. I was trying to fix it. Alright, anywho, I was gonna say, I was gonna give you guys a score. Oops, I forgot. I had the sound effect. The sound effect messed up there. I'm not gonna worry about it. Sorry if I had that messed up. I forgot that when I put it on the DSi, I swapped the sounds around. So, yeah, I swapped it all around. So I don't know. I shouldn't. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a review. So I'm trying to get back into that. And I've only been using the DSi for a short amount of time. But anywho, yeah, I was going to say, the reason why this episode is going to get 100 and not 120, because, yeah, I think it's a little too creepy for kids. You know, it's not bad. Like, I mean, it's still getting 100 points. But I think it's a little too creepy, and I hate that they don't really explain kind of what happened to, you know, her and all that, you know. They could have just said she passed or something, you know. I don't know. But like I said, that's just kind of, I guess it's all kind of weird and all that. What they kind of did there. But the other thing is, this episode was still really fun to, you know, watch and all. It definitely, watching Magic School Bus, even though I've had a questionable childhood at times, I mean, you guys can see what I'm dealing with right now. I talked about it, some of it at the beginning, but you know, but I mean, but I still, you know, like going back to this show. It definitely does throw back some memories for me, and I do really like its art style and all that. It's really fun, you know. But it's just funny, too, I'm seeing how a lot of this stuff we don't have anymore. Like I said, the voice actor for the producer has passed on. Again, not like he was in the reboot anyway, but he did pass away. I heard they were, I think, rebooting the show again. I don't know if that's confirmed, but I'm thinking about making a video on that, if that's true. And, you know, talking about my thoughts on rebooting the show again, because the last reboot sucked. It was bad. You know. But so did the TV show, The Fairly Odd Parents, and then they rebooted it afterwards, and it actually was a lot better than you know. I mean, I didn't see the live action sitcom version, but that's because Paramount removed it because it was so poorly received. You know, but I don't know if that would be the case of this show or not. But I don't even know if that's true or not. But that's what I've heard. You know, so I'll have to see there. I just don't see a lot of people talking about it. But also, the fact is that another thing that we don't have anymore is that polar bear, you know, I forgot what it starts with. It starts with an N. That polar bear, you know, guy, or, you know, that logo, sadly, it's outdated. I mean, when outdated, it's gone, you know, and yeah, it's gone too. And PBS Kids as a channel, I don't know what's going on with it, because there's been some stuff going on with it too, with, you know, politics and government stuff and all that, you know. I don't know what the heck's going on there. I usually just stay out of it. I mean, I'll throw my opinion on a video, but I'm like, I usually just stay out of it, but I'm just saying, you know, like, I'm just saying it's funny how we lost a lot of stuff, you know, over time, but that's why it's nice to have these cartoons, you know, to go back to and watch them. But yeah, like I told you guys, I will put it in the comments below if I can find anything. I'll probably still mention it, but it's starting to get windy out here and all. But I will mention the whole ghost thing because I forgot to look her up in the end credits at the end of the episode. So usually they list it in the credits on who voices what, but I don't know. I was trying to look it up on, you know, Peacock, because that's where the show is at. You can watch it on Netflix, too, but only the first season for some reason. I don't know why that is, but you can apparently find that show all over the place, but yeah, basically, yeah, I couldn't get it to pull up on there because of the end credits and all. They apparently I couldn't click it back for some reason, so, I mean, I don't know if I tried it on Netflix, but I'll probably look it up on my phone later, but I do gotta get back, because it's getting very windy, you know, which is, I guess, is very fitting for fall, so now we're getting into fall, so that's good. Maybe October is coming after all, but I don't know. But I will let you guys go, and I'll give you guys some more reviews later. Hopefully the next one won't be long, but I was trying to explain what was going on at the beginning of it, but anywho, see you guys later. Bye-bye.